Beautiful brave hearts all over the world. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and I am coming from my casa in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo. So this is where I live, right on in the jungle, and it is. All behind me is jungle. All to the side is jungle. All to the other side is jungle, and all in the front is jungle. You'll probably hear the birds in the background. It's kind of raining off and on. And just know this, I love Mexico. I love Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo. And today we're here, and today we're going to be talking about pelvic restoration and prevention for men and women. And I'm going to tell you something right now. There is only one disease, and that is cellular constipation. Oh, yeah. Cellular constipation. It causes inflammation in the cellular level, which causes calcification of the mitochondria, so they can't make ATP. Most of you don't realize this, but guess what? Wherever they call it a certain disease, okay, and understand something, there are no diseases. I'm going to keep repeating it. And guess what? Do you know how they made us into morons? Do you know how they made us into the herd? Why they call us the herd? Why they treat us like cattle? Why they sell us off by the pound? They do it through repetition. Repetition. You can say something long enough and strong enough to somebody, even if it's not logical, even if it's going to hurt them and hurt their family, and they're bloody well going to do it. So I'm going to do the same thing that they do. I'm going to repeat myself and go, does this guy not know anything? He's always repeating himself, saying the same dang thing. Understand something. You have to do something 10,000 times before you perfect it. Did you hear what I said? So I don't know how many times I'm going to have to tell you to love and care for yourself. I don't know how much I'm going to have to tell you that it's constipation on a cellular level that causes all disease. But before you have constipation on a cellular level, it happens in your large intestine. We'll get to that in a few minutes. The reality is this. Let me just play it all out for you. So when you create cellular inflammation, your cells actually create a thickening around them. Okay. Now that thickening around them is protection. If somebody is hitting you or coming at you, you kind of curl in, don't you? And you kind of contract, right? Well, what do your cells do? They can't curl in. They can't really contract, but how they react is they actually create a thicker lining on the outside. Now, these psychotyrants, they know that, guess what? If they can create infection in your mind, and get you to eat infectious food, infectious drink, and do infectious things, then we're going to get inflammation. If we create inflammation on an emotional or physical level in the body, it's going to create scar tissue formation and calcification. And you may not know this, but on a micro level, you are actually creating scar tissue. Oh my God, nobody even talked about this. Scar tissue on the outer layer of your cells. Now, does everybody know where the brain is in the human body? Well, scientifically speaking, this is not the brain, okay? Again, just remember something, and I told you this before, that everything you know is a bloody lie. It's a bloody lie because it causes a bloody mess, okay? And they're bleeding us on all levels, okay? And you can think I'm some kind of conspiracy theorist, but guess what? If you're not waking up to the fact that you're not being harvested and your family, and you're being harvested by who? The medical system, by food corporations, by big pharma, and guess what? People aren't bad, but some systems are pretty bloody toxic. And guess what? They're coming for you, baby. This is called the harvest, okay? They're not just harvesting the crops, but we are the crop to these tyrants. Okay, enough of that stuff. Let's get back to it. So what happens is your cells, when they get infected, whether it's emotionally or physically because of something you ate or drank, okay, they are going to create a thicker layer to try to protect. So now in creating that thicker layer, you are not going to create the detoxification that you usually have. Detoxification slows down with the cell, okay, because of the thicker layer. And because the energy's got to go somewhere. Just like, when you're scared, when you're fearful, the energy goes to your legs and your arms, even if you're scared and fearful and you don't get up and you're not running to beat the band. I mean, the reality is this: adrenaline is only supposed to, and cortisol is only supposed to be dumped in the body, okay, for no more than 3 minutes, because basically that's how long it takes for a tiger to grab you, a real tiger, and chew you up. Okay, most of you are running away from paper tigers with no teeth, and that's why you are going to lose your electrical charge in your body because you're going to drain yourself because you're allowing them to drain you with their BS, dysfunctional belief systems of terrorism. So the reality is whether you're talking about the physical body or you're talking about one cell, we're talking about the same thing because inside a cell has all the different organs and structures of the human body. It's all duplicated in the cell. So the reality is when your cells go into contraction, the cell layer thickens, and that is your brain. So now your brain cannot absorb more information or give information back to the body. That's right. Information comes into the cells and leaves out of the cells. And how many of you know? Now, why are you talking about this, Darrell? Well, because the body's made out of 50 trillion cells. Okay. All right. 50 trillion cells. Okay. And those 50 trillion cells, okay, they're a community. And wherever you have a disease in your body, which there is no diseases, but you've got all kinds of names for everything. Sinusitis, arthritis, cancer, they just make all this up. This is just inflammation and infection. So, and they took you in the wrong direction. That's all. So wherever the disease is, that's the cells that we're talking about right now. So let's bring you back to that. So whether it's a tumor or a pimple, whether it's a hip problem, a spinal problem, or it's gout, remember something, wherever we have the infection, the inflammation, the calcification, the scar tissue formation, that is where those cells are in trouble. So those cells are not going to be creating energy. That's right. All right. Don't some of you feel like you've had the energy sucked out of you? Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't play that. I don't do that. I don't have the energy for that. Oh, I got to go to bed earlier. I can't seem to get out of bed. I can't seem to digest food anymore. Do I need to keep going? So now let's go again. So truly, the brain of the human body are your cells. Didn't know that, right? Your cells and your good bacteria, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. So your cells, they give out information, take information in. We already talked that the coating becomes thick, the lining, okay, it gets thick, all right, on the cell. So whether you believe this or not, your spirit, because you are a spirit being, you are only 1% of 1%. This meat suit is 1% of 1% of what I truly am. And for me to focus on the meat suit and focus on my physical problems and focus on physical remedies and focus on going to look after my physical body without considering my spirit would be a really dumb thing to do. Okay, because most of the practitioners on this planet have been dumbed down to the physical. They are not even in the invisible, which is actually feeding the spirit, because you feed the spirit, you heal your body. And you can do that in a New York second if you actually believed and had faith in yourself. That's how powerful we are. And that's why they have to dumb us down and take our energy away. And believe it or not, we're talking about pelvic restoration for men and women. But the reality is here, whether you want to believe this or not, it's just a bloody harvest, and it's game on. It's game on, okay? All right? So now the cell gets thicker. So when a cell gets thicker, that means detoxification is not going to happen, and it's going to be cut down. So that means inside the cell becomes a swamp. What came first, the swamp or the mosquito? The swamp came first, then the mosquito. And the reality is here is that the terrain, the vibration, the frequency of the terrain decides what's going to live there and how long you're going to live. I hope you got that. You know, you can go and you can get a really deep analysis, deep dive, and they can tell you exactly how long you're going to live until you decide you want to change your personality and change reality. And now you just added on the years. How many people know, like, I've got a swimming pool in my backyard. How many people know that, I'm going to swim for an hour every day before work? Because how many people really know that if you do an hour of real exercise, you get 3 extra hours of life? Yeah. How important is that to you? So let's forget about all the other things that exercise does, building muscle, circulation, gets rid of constipation, helps to move the lymph system. Okay, it helps to actually create serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins. But let's forget about all that. Just every hour that you work out every day, 1 hour a day gives you 3 hours of extra life. Okay, if you're not going to put yourself off a cliff or become a drug addict, alcoholic, like most people are today. But the reality is here, let's get back to it. So I said that we get cellular constipation. When we do that, we get the swamp, we get the infection. The infection, guys, if you could just think of everything in your life, whether it be food, drink, or your body or relationships, it's always about high frequency, high vibration. If you just said, I am a walking, talking battery, and I am not going to do anything anymore that drains the energy out of me and sucks the life out. Okay, how much energy does a dead person have? Okay, a dead body have, I should say. People don't die. They move on. Their spirit moves on. But the reality is how much electrical conductivity is in someone, okay, that they say is deceased. Well, absolutely nothing. How much energy is in somebody who's in bed and can't get out? Only very little. How much is in somebody that is limping? Well, if they're limping, we know that their energy levels are leaving. If they go even more from a limp to a cane, it's even more to a walker and then a wheelchair, okay? And then they're bedridden and now they're in hospice or they're in the hospital all the ding dang time. And understand that. So it's all about energy. And whether you believe it or not, there's an entity on this planet and you're feeding them. You should be feeding yourself. You should be feeding your spirit, not theirs. Okay? All right. So anyway, so now we've got cellular constipation, which means that if you have that, you have infection that goes to inflammation. Inflammation means that you're actually going to pull calcium into the cell. Calcium into the cell to buffer the cell down to make it more alkaline, because if the cell doesn't stay alkaline, you lose oxygen. If you lose oxygen in the cell and it drops by 35% or more, that cell's going to hell. And that cell means going to hell. It means that it's going to mutate into a cell that doesn't have to live off oxygen because there's not enough. So 35% or more lack of oxygen for more than 3 days can cause mutation. Okay, because the cell says, I want to survive. I can't thrive anymore with this host. This host doesn't know how to eat, drink, or think. So guess what? If I can't thrive, I need to survive. And that's what you call cancer. So the reality is I don't believe in the word cancer. And the reality is that cell will go back to a normal cell if you provide the oxygen that you actually unconsciously didn't know that you were suffocating it. And guess what? If it doesn't go back to a normal cell, it will off itself because it'll have enough energy from the P59 gene to actually kill itself. Okay, so that's how life works. When you've got enough energy in the body, those things that need to off themselves will off themselves and leave. Those things that need to be recreated and stay within you, okay, to make you strong will stay. All right, so now we've got calcium coming into the cell, and then we've got what's called the mitochondria. And remember something, everyone, just so you know, they always thought the nucleus was the brain of the cell. The nucleus is not the brain of the cell. And guess what? You want to go to the medical system, they'll be rattling on about the nucleus. Well, guess what the nucleus is? The nucleus is the gonads of the cell, okay? So you can actually take those gonads and castrate the cell, which is the nucleus, and the cell will keep on living. Did you get what I just said? Okay, why don't you go out and prove it? Okay, so the nucleus is not the brain of the cell. The brain of the cell is actually the mitochondria. They'll spin 2,500 times per second, the mitochondria, in creating what we call ATP. ATP is the energy that every cell needs to create a metabolic, healthy life, and that's it. Now, with people that actually have any kind of disease tissue, and understand disease tissue just means rotting tissue. Thank you very much, Darrell. Disease tissue means rotting tissue. So wherever there's rotting tissue, we'll have calcification, okay, and we'll have constipation because there's not enough flow within the cell. It's like it's all jammed up, jelly tight. And the reality is this, okay, is that calcification will actually take the actual 2,500 spin of the mitochondria to make the ATP and bring it down to around a 300 to 500 spin. So now you're bedridden. Isn't that great? But what if I told you that you could get in touch with me if you wanted, but I will tell you this much, that the reality is this. you can get that 2,500 spin of your mitochondria back. Everybody can. I don't care what condition you're in. And if you want to believe all those other practitioners that said, there is no cure, well, you're the bloody cure. There was never a cure. Nobody can cure you. And just know this, I just wrote an article and it's going into the PDG guide and it will be in there by Friday. And it's called The Cure is an Inside Job. No healer can heal you. That's it. That's the deal. I can't heal you. I can create the vibration. I can create the frequency. Okay. And I can create the courage within you instead of the fear that they're trying to feed you. Okay. So now let me just say this. Remember the cell? And I said that the outside of the cell was actually the main brain frame for the human body. Well, guess what? When you're fearful, and I said that the outside of the cell actually thickens, did you know that you have a cell print? Okay, just like you have a fingerprint, and it's authentic to you. And if you don't believe me, why don't we just take an organ from another human being and put it into another human being, and then find out that that human being likes pickles and ice cream, and they've never eaten it before, but the human being they got the organ from. Why do you think the organ doesn't want to stay in, and they have to take drugs to make the organ stay in the person that it was actually put into? Because it's looking for the spirit that it actually was. Yeah, our spirit is continually coming into us. Oh my God, she has a beautiful spirit. Oh yeah, we'll just wait long enough and strong enough. We'll send her to an actual governmental school. Well, they will govern her mentality and they will dumb her down. Okay. So just know this, that belief systems, if they're toxic, will destroy your spirit, which will rot your body out eventually. So just know this, that every system out there that's ever been created by the system is made and pretending to actually support you and heal you. I mean, God, only 1% of 1% of 1% of the population buy into my BS, but 99% of the population, and I'm not making this up, buy into a medical doctor that knows nothing about natural health or real true health and healing. They know about ending the suffering, whether it's through drugs or cutting the organ out or cutting the hip out of you and putting a false hip in there. Well, now you don't have any feeling. Of course you don't. How could you have pain there? Okay, but now you're so stiff in that hip that you don't do the things you used to do. And you don't even know. Did you know that 95% of all the hip replacements and all 95% of all the low back surgeries, okay, did you know that is from your large intestine becoming a cesspool and rotting out and you absorbing your own waste? And that fills up your pelvic bowl that actually eats away your hips and eats away your low back. That actually gave you the bladder infection, the cyst, gave you the endometriosis, gave you the tumor, gave you the prostate inflammation or cancer. They call it cancer. It's stage 4 inflammation. So just know that when they say it's cancer, you call it stage 4 inflammation so you don't scare the living out of you, because words do matter. Thoughts matter too. And guess what? A word will create a thought. So you better be saying something that still allows you to have the power. Take your power back. Okay. So the reality is let's get back to the cells. Okay. So now we know that the mitochondria get calcified. They can't spin. They can't make the ATP. So somebody that's 75 kilograms, okay, in weight, which is about 175 pounds, needs 85 kilograms, almost 200 pounds of ATP made a day to stay vitally healthy. Hallelujah. I know how to do it. Okay. And that's the truth. I'm not telling you that I'm a genius. I'm not telling you I'm smart. I'm telling you that I'm logical. I'm telling you that I met very smart people over the last 40 years that helped me become more logical about what I do. And the reality is this, if you totally loved and cared for yourself, you would do it for everyone else. If money didn't make your decisions every day, I got to go to work, I got to go pay the bills, I got to do this, I got to do that. I don't got to do nothing. I got my passion and purpose, and I don't have to worry about the money, honey, because the universe will open up to you. You are an antenna. And a speaker system. The speaker system puts out the vibe and the frequency out to the universal creator. And then that comes back to us. I said something, and please don't beat me up, but go check it out. 365 times it says in the Bible, it says, fear not, fear not, fear not. Guess what? It should say, have courage, have courage, have total faith, have total courage. It says, fear not. So what does a person do? Hey, when somebody says to you, boy, stop having so much fear. What do you focus on? Okay. So the reality is that you need to create a new personality, new belief systems. And when it comes to emotional, physical, nutritional, and financial, because understand, there's just a very small handful of people that have been programming you and using you. How does it feel to be used? Okay. Well, there you go. So I know we're here about the pelvic restoration and disease prevention, but do you think all this doesn't have anything to do with that? You think that, you being programmed to shop in a chain superstore? I do not shop in any chain superstores. Thank you very much. And if I do, I know that the things that they can't poison and can't hide about it. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not picking on anyone. Everybody's just programmed. So I've got people here working on the video studio, and four out of three people ordered Coca-Cola. So they ordered Coca-Cola because they don't know that it's as addictive as heroin, and it works just like heroin. They have to have it. They don't understand that it's totally destroying their immune system. And maybe they do, and maybe they don't have enough love and value to even make that change, because the addiction overrides the love they have for themselves, which is maybe not that much. And I'm not picking on anyone. I'm trying to tell you, we're all set up. We're all set up. Thank you very much. And I'll be doing something on Coke, and I'm going to bring you more information. But just know that Coke and Pepsi has nanobots in them. You think that's going to screw up your pelvis at all? Okay, I'll bring you that information in my one a day, either tomorrow or the next day, and I'll prove that I'm right. That's right. You heard what I said. Okay. All right. And guess what? They're allowed to do it, because the same people that own Coke and Pepsi are the same ones that are doing the chemtrails, the same ones that have the Beyond Burger, the same ones that created Appeal. And you think none of this has any influence on pelvic restoration? Are you like crazy? Because everything ends up in the pelvis, because the large intestine's the last 5 to 7 feet, isn't it, of the large intestine? Most people don't even know that. Most people don't even know that the large intestine is actually a compost that creates most of your immune system in the human body, called your good bacteria. But you want to go and drop atomic bombs in there called antibiotics and just blow the living crap out of it. Oh, wow, I got those. We killed the bad guys. Oh, my God, we also killed the civilians, too. Okay. All right. Okay. Are we having fun yet? Okay. If you have any questions, please send them in. And feel free to do it, because Carla, who you can see she just said hi, has no questions. And that's okay. Maybe there is no questions. Maybe I just talk too much. What do you think? Anyways, so the reality is that whether you believe it or not, every human being is a beautiful spirit. But every human being, okay, also has dysfunctional, toxic beliefs. How much does it actually cost to get someone to sell something that's not good for you to someone else? So there's our problem. Is pelvic restoration ever going to be taken on by the whole Braveheart Nation? No way. It's never. And that's because of addiction. Okay. So the reality is that we've got to ask ourselves when we see food, is this high vibrational? Guys, everything you drink and all the food leaves, everything physical leaves. The invisible stays, which is the light and the frequency or the vibrational frequency. That's it. There's not 4 food groups, guys. There's only one food group, and it's not in the 4 food groups, and it's called what? Vibrational frequency. Okay, whether you want to believe it or not, when I put all of my nutraceuticals together at the beginning, I didn't realize it was all about vibration and frequency. So when we stopped looking at the so-called A, B, C, D, E nutritional vitamins and the minerals, we started looking at what minerals had the highest voltage minerals in the world. And I'll go ahead and challenge me, anyone out there, are my Beyond Ormus minerals. Okay. There is not more high voltage minerals made, and there isn't. And you take 40 drops of those, you've covered your minerals. If you're in trouble, you should take 80 drops a day. And I have what's called Beyond Ormus Magnesium Spray, which is better than any magnesium lotion or taking magnesium. You spray it on the body. It goes right in. It's got the highest electrical frequency charge of any magnesium product on the planet. So what you need to do is look at it's like this. Whether it's a human being or whether it's a food, whether it's a nutritional, whether it's something to detox the body, look at the vibrational frequency in it. Find out how it was made, okay? Find out how it was made. And you know what? If you keep on making a phone call to a certain person and you keep feeling drained after that, well, then you know that you shouldn't be making those phone calls. If you hang around with a group of people and you feel like you're drained, it's because you're starting to wake up and you're bringing your vibrational frequency up. And then when you go, that your vibrational frequency comes down. And understand, disease is nothing but you being out of alignment and allowing your vibrational frequency to be pulled down by friends, neighbors, family, and media. Okay? So that's all it is. So if you could learn to mind your own business, love, honor, and respect yourself, take a look at my Braveheart Oath. And do yourself a favor and download the PDG guide. I'm going to give you some homework. PDGfree.com. PDGfree.com. Okay. And no questions at the moment. What would you recommend for low platelets? Well, we understand. I'll get to that in a second. Thank you very much. You're the first question to come in. Download my PDGfree.com guide. If you really love it, just know we'll sell it to you exactly at what it cost us to print it and get it to your door, which is $95. And then I'd love you to go to and send in a testimonial and tell me what you think of the book. But it has everything in there that you want on an emotional, mental, physical level. It will give you more guidance than anything else you've ever read, and it's free. But if you love it, it's a beautiful book. It's 560 pages. It'll be delivered to your door. Please go in there and look at the 4 pillars of the perfect day. Look at issues in your tissues and find out the domino effect, how you got set up. Look at proper food combining. Please do that. Okay. All right. Even just start there. And then guess what? I guarantee you that it'll create a domino effect of, oh my gosh. And everything from eye infection, ear infection, nose infection, bum infection, vaginal infection. It's all in there and what you need to do and how to see this through. And you can always give me a call at 469-861-8884 on WhatsApp or direct. Just call me Darrell, call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Just get me down to your level. Let's see eye to eye, and we're here to help you. Or if you don't want to talk to me because I scare you, some people say, oh my God, he's scary. I'm not. Well, that's because I know I'm a little bit over passionate about this, but the reality is you don't get the phone calls I get of mothers crying about their little children or their husband, okay? Because I hardly ever get a husband crying about their children or about their wife. Go figure about that one. And that's because men are not taught to feel. Okay. All right, let's answer this question. What would you recommend for low platelets? Well, first of all, you are not on a high vibrational full plant-based diet. So I would tell you to do that first. And, you know, your platelets would come up if you were to actually do daily cleansing tea and black gold, because whether you believe it or not, why do you think your platelets are down? Why do you think they're down? Platelets are down because of oxygen and because of nutritional factors, but it's actually because of you reabsorbing your own waste from your large intestine. Whether you want to believe this or not, but there's not one person out there that isn't absorbing waste from their large intestine, because who hasn't done antibiotics? Because when you do an antibiotic, it takes the yeast, turns it into a fungus. They become drilled by predators. Just like in the jungle here, if I go here and I see a tree that's dying, you'll see fungus on it. You'll see holes in it, okay? You'll see holes in it because drill bit predators, right? Okay, all right. So because when something's dying, okay, then what happens is certain bugs come in and return you back to where you came from. And the reality is this: antibiotics vibrate below zero, so they transform the yeast into fungus. They drill holes through your large intestine. And now you're pooping in your pelvis, and you wonder how you got the endometriosis. You wonder how you are infertile now, but you can reverse all this. Just know everything I mentioned is reversible, and it's not by me. All I do is create the vibration and the frequency, and I give you the faith that you can heal yourself, which was been stolen from you. So the reality is you're talking about your platelets, so you're talking about your blood, and the reality is your blood will be determined by. Have you ever think of doing the ultimate coffee enema? Have you ever thought about doing daily Tunzi tea and black gold? Okay, because do the ultimate coffee enema and clean your liver, which is a filter. On an emotional level, it stores anger. And on a physical level, it stores all the chemical and all the poisons that they've been poisoning you with. Okay. And then what happens is then you get what's called a fatty liver because of inflammation, because you got to make fat cells to store the inflammation. Come on, guys. Nobody's fat. People are inflamed. The more inflamed you are, the more fat cells you make, whether it's outside your body, okay, or it's inside an organ. That's where the fat comes from. You're storing the inflammation and the toxins in the fat cells. And then the fat cells can become cellulite, which is more lower oxygen and even more toxic. And then they become scar tissue. And that's what you call cirrhosis of the liver. Are you with me yet? Okay. So you can get scar tissue and on the outside of your cells. Yeah. Isn't that something? Just on the outside of your cells. Or you can get it in your liver, or you can get it in your joints, or you can get it in your muscle tissues. You can get it in your brain. We call that a lesion. Okay. You get it in your abdominal area, and we call that an adhesion. Are you with me yet? Okay. All right. We changed the names to make it a really interesting game, so you can't keep up. So you look like you're a dumb bunny. That's it. Let's make everybody out there, especially the women who have children, let's make them feel like they can't heal themselves or their family. And then let's give them a manual that will just screw them up. That's it. I'm trying to give you a manual that'll unscrew everything. pdgfree.com. And don't tell me that you don't have to buy a thing from me. Don't buy anything from me. Go find products if you can that are similar to the ones I sell then. And I don't mind. I will do it for zero. But check my products out and you'll see maybe they're worthy. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the blood platelet thing. I'm going to say something. Not only does 99.9% of the population not know what real health is, they're programmed to off themselves and their family. Okay, tell me I'm wrong. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, low platelets. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you should be doing my Ormus Minerals. I'm going to tell you should do the Perfect Day Multi. I'm going to tell you that if your immune system is in jeopardy, you should be doing my Critical Care Thunder Shrooms. But understand something. I already told you to go to the 4 pillars of the perfect day. Okay. And one thing, go do the pelvic exercise, go do the crab stretch. Okay. All right. Go do if you're a woman, please go do the vaginal infusion, because you may not know this, but a woman will absorb 600% better through the vaginal canal than taking it orally. Go figure. Isn't that something, eh? The holy grail of everything. Remember, this is pelvic restoration class, right? Okay. But understand, if you were to get a consultation right now, do you know our consultations are $95? And that's a 1-hour consult. We'll build you a perfect day from the moment you rise till you close your eyes. And then we'll give you lifetime free calling. You understand? Let's say if you got Lorraine and she was your consultant, you couldn't get her. You could call me at 469-861-8884. I'd like to get to know you. I'll answer your questions. You know what? This is what I'm here for. Do not put me up on a pedestal ever. Hi, Darrell. How you doing? My name is Jeannie. How you doing, Jeannie? What's going on? Well, right now I've got low platelets. And well, Jeannie, why don't you take a few minutes and just tell me what your weight is, what your height is, okay, what your age is. And then just tell me from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, what are the main things that you eat and drink and do? And tell me the things that aren't even good for you. And I promise you, I will not judge you. I will love you. Okay? Because guess what, Jeannie? Just coming down here to this life-threatening, fun-filled adventure makes you a Braveheart hero already. And that's the God's truth. Okay. All right. But so just know this, Jeannie, you can go and pretty soon you might have to get a blood transfusion. Okay. Or maybe you have to get other type of transfusions, or you could just maybe not let this go into an emergency situation and pretend that you can't and just go ahead and pretend that you're the practitioner, you're the healer of your body, and then let me see you, Jeannie, go in and look at the 4 pillars of the perfect day, the other products I told you to look at, okay? But you need to cleanse your colon, Jeannie. I guarantee you, Jeannie, that you've got bowel problems. And understand something. Everybody on this planet has bowel problems. You know, I'm sick to my stomach. You make me sick to my stomach. My stomach's tied in knots. I mean, think about how many times you eat and you bloat up and you go down. Think about how often you have to grunt to get that little turd out. Okay. All right. Why do you think so many people have hiatal hernia? They have hiatal hernia because they've actually rotted out through the large intestine, and the peritoneum lining is actually rotted out. Now you got your intestines popping out of your gut. Okay. What about this? How about hiatal hernia? Hiatal hernia is up here. Okay. And the hiatal hernia is actually caused because you push your diaphragm down all the time to try to squeeze that gold nugget out. Okay. That it splashes the water and splashes your butt because it's so dehydrated and it's a bloody rock and sinks to the bottom, or it comes out like a thin ribbon because you've got spastic colon. Okay. There is no such thing as colitis. It's inflammation of the colon. There is no, the reason why I have hemorrhoids is because you can't let go of your own SHIT emotionally or physically. Okay. All right. And understand that. Okay. So really, what are you stubborn about? Okay. On an emotional level. And then on a physical level, take a look at your diet. Okay. Listen to me. Most natural health practitioners aren't on their game, and it's not their fault. Let me just say this. How many natural health practitioners do you know that totally love, care, and respect themselves and don't care what other people think about them? They do not judge other people, but observe. That's where you get your power from. I keep saying, if you feed the spirit, you heal the body. And Jeannie, if you want to give me a call, okay, I don't know, is her name Jeannie? I don't know what her name is. I made that up. Okay, so the person with the platelet problem, just call me. And I'll do a 5-minute talk with you and we'll nail this thing. And then guess what? I will do whatever I can not to make you have to spend money with me. How's that? Is that good? Is that good enough? I mean it. But the reality is this, download my book. Do you know how many people I'll talk to? Well, did you download my book yet? Oh my God, I've been so busy. No, you've been so disrespectful to yourself because you're programmed to do that. Okay. What's the best stuff for the heart? They gave me statin, but rather more. First of all, let's just talk about the heart. The heart is the emotional organ. There are people that eat a lot worse than you do, and they don't have heart problems. How do you process love? Do you have any love for yourself? Are you upset about the way people love you, that they don't love you enough? That they don't respect you for the love you give them? I'll let it go. We'll move on to the next thing. But I will tell you this much. With the heart, it needs trace minerals, and go to your homework. Beyond Ormus minerals, okay, is the highest electrical charge minerals on the planet. And that's what your heart needs, is electricity. Okay. And the next thing that I would tell you to do is take a look at drinking more water, structured water. And you can put the Ormus minerals in there, and take a look at the food you're eating. That would really help. I would really like it. If there's anybody out there, okay, if there's anybody out there, I will do a live consultation, and I will not charge you. I only do 1, maybe 2 a week. And if you want to come on live, you don't have to give your real name. You can say you live in some other country or on some other planet. It's amazing how we just want to stand out, but nobody wants to stand out. It's amazing that we want people to respect us, but we can't respect ourselves. Why don't you give me a call, and anybody that, okay, would like me to do a consult, I'll do a live consult. It'll take about an hour and a half. I'll go through everything. And most of the consult will be about not trying to sell you products, okay? It'll be about looking at your emotional, nutritional, and physical lifestyle and creating a perfect day for you. So there's a challenge. It's like this. We have millions of people now that follow the Braveheart Nation. around the world. And the reality is, let's see if we can get a few that will come on and share their story, because there's hundreds of thousands just like you that will be thanking you and blessing you for coming on with your bravery. And I don't want to bring stories here. I don't even need to know. You can just say, I got a heart problem. I don't want to know anything else. We'll go live, we'll go raw, we'll go real. Live, raw, and real. That's it. And I promise you, I will love you with all my heart. And let's see if you can walk away from me trying to create a perfect day. The big challenge is, it doesn't matter what I say. You got to love yourself more, okay, than having the approval of your friends, your family, and your neighbors. Yeah, really, Darrell? How am I going to do that? No, I don't know. If you had love for yourself, you wouldn't worry what they thought, and you would actually become a Braveheart hero to maybe help them, so that they're not going to be in hospice or the hospital going, oh my God, Dr. Wolfe, please help me. I'm help my mother, help my brother, help my sister. And I go through this every day. You think I'm kidding? Every day I go through this. Okay. So no, I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I understand the game. Okay. All right. Okay. Whether you believe it or not, we are all seated and grown here. Okay. Because we are vital life force batteries that they drain until there's nothing left. Okay. All right. What's the best stuff for the heart? Well, inexpensively, drink enough water. Drink structured water. Look at our structured water units. They come with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Put the Beyond Ormus minerals in there, and make sure you're drinking structured water. You know what? Let me see you drink 1 quart of warm to hot structured water with Ormus minerals every morning. And guess what? I want to see you drink 3/4 of an ounce for every pound that you weigh, because we can't go by the 8 glasses of water. They just made that crap up. Okay. You need to do 3/4 of an ounce for every pound that you weigh. Do you understand? Nobody's going to drown. Okay. All right. So let's wake up, okay, to the truth. All right. So let's do that. And let's get rid of all cooked and fried food. Let's get rid of all flour products and all sugar products and all dairy. Okay. And let's make sure that we're doing, when it comes to fruit, watermelon or blended berry drinks, organic, okay, with things like coconut milk or oat milk or almond milk, and make sure they only have like 3 different ingredients in these milks. And then you can add like 1 or 2 raw eggs. And then let me see, you have a large salad. You could put maybe some black beans or other beans in it, or you could make a salad with avocado in it. Okay, let's see you just clean up your lifestyle and then tell me you've got a platelet problem, because you won't. Okay, if you want to go the medical route, then you're going to go drug surgery, and you're going to be tested every few weeks, because the worse the condition, the more you're going to be tested, and then you're just going to what? Be drugged, okay? And then you're going to be cut open, all right? Or you can just love yourself and respect yourself and just do this, all right? You know, it's the funniest thing, but no matter what question I get on here, it's always about lifestyle. It's from the moment you rise until you close your eyes. Do you wear a slight smile? Do you connect to the lion heart breath? Do you have your shoulders back? Do you care about the world going to war with itself and everyone else? You can't. You can't, because if you do, you become part of the problem. And now you're looking for peace because you created your own war. I will never look for peace, because there'll never be peace on this planet. There is only going to be alignment. And if you want to learn how to get aligned, then you come to me. And if you really want to take the thunder down, you come and take my whole life health coach certified. It's only 9 days. I'll give you a 3-day money back guarantee. By the 3rd day, I will have you already crack the coconut from the inside out, and you will know your authentic self, which is a beautiful God-given living spirit. And that's it. Okay. All right. Go to braveheartnation.com or BHN University and check out our courses. You know, someday maybe you will deserve to become your own practitioner, to become your own lover, to become your own healer, because nobody else can love you except you, like you. That's why most relationships suck, right? Yeah. To death do us part. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, curcumin cayenne 5000 is amazing for the heart problem. Also, actually spraying the Beyond Ormus magnesium right over the heart. Okay. All right. And learning how to calm down and not have so much anxiety. Yeah. And don't tell me you don't. Okay. Because I'm going to tell you something. Why don't you go do some homework? Okay. 95% of everybody that gets rushed to the hospital for a heart attack, it was a fart attack because the gas was pushing up on the heart because they were rotting. They had their own manure pile in their large intestines. And, okay. All right. It was actually anxiety. That's right. And understand something. If you don't believe me, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to lay everybody down in your household, lay them down on the ground. And even if they're right-handed, okay, you're going to see that the heart area can be anywhere from 1/8 of an inch to 1 inch higher than the dominant right side. Even though they're right-handed, that should be the bigger side, right? But the left over the heart, you've got this fist of scar tissue and calcification trying to protect your broken heart because it's an emotional organ. Don't believe me. Just know this. There's no other practitioner that I know of. And if somebody, please let me know. We give a money-back guarantee on all our consultations, all our body work, all our courses, and all our trainings. Are you with me? Okay. There's a reason, because it works. So I'm gonna put a challenge out there to every practitioner that I want you to start giving a money-back guarantee on your body work, your consultations. And I don't care if you're a dietitian, even working for the government. I want everybody to do that. Or shut your mouth, okay, and leave me alone, okay? There you go. There's a challenge. How about that? You know, sometimes a guy can only take so much. Just because you're 1%, you're only 1% of 1% of the population, it doesn't mean I have to put up with it. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't make it right. And just because hardly anybody's doing it doesn't make it wrong. You guys think about that. And what's that got to do with pelvic restoration? Everything, if you're awake. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but let me just take you for a little walk here. Okay. All right. I'll go as slow as I can. Okay. See, it's all jungle around here. All right. And you see this here? This is my staging for when we have big get-togethers, okay, in Mexico, Ixtapa, Mexico. But it's all jungle back in here. You should hear it in the morning. Oh, man, the birds are so beautiful. Life is so beautiful. You know what? And you're so beautiful. And as soon as you realize your beauty, as soon as you start loving yourself and putting it out there to the almighty creator, what you want and the way you want it, you may not get it like that, but you'll even get it better, okay? I'm telling you right now, that's what I believe, and you can call me a nutcase, but that's okay. All right. What to drink for constant urination? Well, first of all, if you've got constant urination, you should be drinking structured water. Structured water has 1,000% better hydration, 1,000% on the body. And you see your body has to structure the water for it to get into the cells. So if you buy a structure unit, which I don't have out here right now, because I can't go in and do my show down there because I've got 5 video people, 3 of them from Disney that work for Disney down there building up the biggest video studio, I think, in health right now. And it's a 60 by 35-foot studio, and we'll have 5 different sets in here. And then we're going to have people from all over the world coming to shoot their master classes. We've got people from all over the world coming on to do their own weekly show or every 2 weeks show. And do me a favor, would you? If you could help us, I'd really appreciate it. Could you go on to BHN app? That's BHN, standing for Braveheart Nation, app.com. BHNapp.com. We're trying to get as many people on there and to test drive our new Braveheart Nation app. I'm being told right now that it is the biggest and most powerful health app. And I want you to test it out and tell me what you think of it. And please leave your comments, because we're trying to get ready to let it go around August the 8th. Okay. All right. Okay. What to drink for constant urination. Whether you believe this or not, But people that have constant urination have bowel infection. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so look at this. So what happens is it's called irritation, okay, of the kidneys, of the urethra, of the bladder. Oh, yeah, that's right. And you know what? When you've got constant urination, oh my gosh, look at this. Welcome to, what do you think of the rain? Yeah. Sorry if I spun you around too fast. I'll slow down next time. Um, Anyways, Carla says that the rain's not interfering. So here we go. So yeah, check out my bhnapp.com. Let me know what you think. Okay. All right. Now the constant urination. Okay. Let me lay this out for you. And I love this part. Everybody says they don't have a bowel problem. Everybody has a bowel problem. Isn't it crazy? It's the opposite of what we actually believe. How nutsy cuckoo. I mean, we are so programmed to off each other, aren't we? Okay. So here's the deal. I eat one meal a day. I did just do I made a 20-ounce organic strawberry, 2 raw eggs, okay, black gold. I put my Ormus minerals in there, okay, and I put in sprouted organic plant protein, all right, and I also put in 4 sans formula. You don't have to do that. And then I blended it up. That's it. That's all I had today, and I had that only about an hour ago. And right now it's sometime 3 o'clock or sometime around there. So tonight I'm going to go out and I'm going to eat. I'm going to tell you something. If you loved your life, you wouldn't be as hungry. If you love yourself, you wouldn't be as hungry. The spirit is more powerful than anything else. I love my life. Okay. And yes, I know when I need to hydrate, and hydration is more important than eating. So, you want to drink enough water. Everybody out there, 3/4 of an ounce for every pound that you weigh. Okay. All right. Oh, look. Hi. There's Lori. Okay. All right. Yeah. So what we had was when we moved here and we ran the Stop World Healing and Training Center, we had 3 containers. Well, we have 3 containers in our house right now that we're going through. Okay. All right. Because we ran a 20 treatment room clinic. That's right. But now we just have the DOD 5star.com, and it's a beautiful house where people come to stay, and we can only take up to 8 people. That's it. That's it. Usually we just have families coming or couples coming. That's what I want. I want sanity in my life. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Oh yeah, urination. So just know, hey, how about this? I just went to the doctor and he told me I've got E. coli. Okay. Well, E. coli comes from your bowel. And understand something. You're reabsorbing your own waste. That's got to go into your liver to be purified. It also goes into your kidneys. And then when it goes through the kidneys, it causes infection, inflammation. But guess what else? It actually, you've got a bladder that's a sac, and the sediment of the fecal waste is sitting in the bottom of the bladder. And what do you think it is? Infection creates inflammation. Inflammation causes contraction. So the bladder shuts down on itself. And now you get up a few times a night and you go, oh man, I'm so tired. I got to go pee. And then you get there and only a few drops come out because guess what? You got sac attack. That's right. You got a sac attack, bladder. It's, you ever been in pain? Well, what do? You curl up, right? Okay. And if you got inflammation, you get dehydration of the tissues. And guess what? Now you've got a bladder that's made out of beef jerky. Are you with me? Okay. All right. If you want to change it, well, guess what? You're going to need to drink structured water because it has 1,000% better hydration. You got to put Ormus minerals in there, and you got to put in 1/8 or 1/16 of a teaspoon of what's called black diamond. Go do your research and then tell me. Then you'll know why you're doing it. But you better be on the daily cleansing tea and the black gold, because if you don't want to cleanse out your from your mouth to your rectum, and then you want to just pile up that waste along the walls that's going to be reabsorbed into your bloodstream and then go into your kidneys, you're going to have this problem for the rest of your life. So it's the way you eat and treat yourself, sweetheart. So understand that. And when you drink water, make sure it's from warm to hot water. Hot water heals. You know, if I could get every one of you to get up in the morning and drink 1 liter, 1 quart of hot water, okay, with Beyond Ormus minerals and just 1/16 of a teaspoon of Black Diamond, and you actually drank that. And if you want, go ahead, put a couple drops of super cinnamon oil or orange essential oil or peppermint oil, or you could put in lemon. We've got lemon. Put a couple of drops of that. Drink that hot water, essential oil, Black Diamond, Beyond Ormus minerals, and then tell me that you're not rocking your world. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you something right now. I'll have this in the PDG guide. I've got Nat working on it right now. Okay. So the medical system just put out, are you ready for this? They just put out a diet for those people that want to start intermittent fasting. And it's for intermittent fasting for people over 50. This will actually kill the people over 50. All right. Does anybody know what type of diet you need not to do if you've got diabetes, adult onset diabetes, okay, or diabetes? I'll tell you, the diet you don't want to do, go to the Diabetic Association on the website, and they give the exact diet that they're telling you to do is the one that's going to bring you down. Okay, really? Can somebody just wake up? Hello, are we out there? Is anybody out there? Okay, is anybody out there? Because I'm definitely here. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. What about a 6-year-old that hit his chin on the trampoline part? Any suggestions? Well, right off the bat, you can ice it for the first, but that's only for the first 20 minutes. After that, you don't want to do it. You know, what I would suggest is rubbing essential oils like Pain Away or lavender or frankincense on the bottom of the child's foot because you want to calm them down. And remember, it's probably going to bruise. And once it's healed, there could be some scar tissue in there. So if you're near a Wolfe non-surgical therapist, go to them and they can pull the scar tissue apart. Now, as far as healing it goes, if you put essential oils on, a nice one, like I said, like lavender, that'll be good. You could put rose cream on, DMSO. Take a look on my website. You could put that on there. But what's really going to heal it, okay, and take it and cool it down and help it is silver bullet gel and C60. Mix a little bit of silver bullet gel and C60 together, maybe a couple of drops of frankincense or lavender in there, and then just keep applying it, okay, because you want to put me out of business, then do everything in your life that's high vibrational. Okay, stay away from low vibrational people, low vibrational food, low vibrational healer. Okay, you're never going to get healed from a low vibrational healer. You want to go to a low vibrational healer? Well, you're going there to end the suffering. So they're going to either cut it out or drug it down. Okay, or you might go to a natural health therapist that will maybe turn the burner down, but he won't turn it off. I mean, but then the reality is that the majority of the population doesn't want a practitioner like me, and that's the truth. So don't be delusional, Darrell. Okay. And the biggest thing is when the 6-year-old actually hit their chin, if whoever was there, when he started crying and everything, and all you got to do is to go, you got this. That's absolutely nothing. You got this, okay? I did that when I was younger, and I got a big fat bruise, but guess what? It'll totally heal. You are okay. The most damaging thing you can ever do to a 6-year-old is when they hurt themselves is to freak out. When my kids used to hurt themselves, I'd go, are you good? You're good? You got this. My son and I, Sage, who now he does the Wolfe non-surgical certifications all over the world. He actually, when we went surfing, he was 11 years old, and we were surfing in Panama. We moved down there for a couple of years, and we lived in the rainforest. And when we went surfing, his surfboard came up, and it cut him right here. If you ever meet him, you'll see a scar right here. And it cut him right down to the bone. So his older brother was there, I was there. and the surfboard cut him. And when he came up, okay, the blood was just gushing, so he couldn't tell because of the water. It was all coming down like this, right? And my older son, Jared, goes, and I went, and they go, hey, Sage, come on, let's head on in, buddy. Okay, let's head on in. So as soon as we got in, I grabbed a towel, and I put the towel on, and then I grabbed another towel, and I wet it, and I put, look at this. Well, I just got my pool filled up for free. Thank you very much, creator of everything. The grass is going to be green, and also I don't have to go get the car washed. Okay. So anyway, then I got a towel, and I put it under cold water. I put ice in it, took the other towel away quickly, put that on, and then we drove right to the hospital, and we got the plastic surgeon to actually sew it up without trauma. Now, whether you believe this or not, the bang on the trampoline is not as bad as what the adults did freaking out. You know, let me tell you a story if that's okay. Yesterday, I had a beautiful lady call me, and she's, well, actually, she called 3 days ago, then she called again yesterday. And the reality is her daughter was having bad breathing problems, okay? You're going to love this one. So, and she's crying everything. She goes, oh, my God, I'm on the edge. I don't know what to do, Dr. Wolfe. Should I take my child to the hospital? I said, do whatever you want, but you're going to traumatize her, and then they're going to want to give her antibiotics. Then you're going to be upset about that because I know who she is. Okay, I know what she's like. I wasn't telling her not to do it. I said, if you go ahead and do that, you're going to be upset. You're going to be upset about it, and you're going to fight with the doctors, and you're going to traumatize her because you're going to the emergency room. Okay, all right. I said, or you can nebulize with infinite iodine, get her to clap her lungs, put DMSO rose cream on. But the most important thing is this: you do an enema on her, a warm water, structured water enema, and you put tummy love in there or some black diamond, okay, in there, just a little bit, and then you do that on her. Well, she said that she did it the first time. She could only hold it 2 minutes, but she felt better. I said, go back and do it 3 times, okay? And guess what? She did it 3 times. She did it that night, and guess what? Her daughter was fine. So anyway, so like 5 days of, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I'm exaggerating, okay, guys? Now, because I don't want to hurt her feelings, but guess what? Every mother was programmed, okay, to not have the answer, okay? All right? It's like we can't do anything right. Well, we can, okay? So anyway, so she did that, and her daughter's just perfectly fine. So now, if she would have went, who knows? Her husband would have said, no, if there's no way, she's taking the antibiotics. Really? 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 Antibiotics should be taken in a life-threatening situation, or you'll end up with one. And guess what? The medical system knows it, so they're not going to come after me for saying it, because it's the truth. Okay. Keith Townsend, what helps thyroid? Well, first of all, my friend, I'll tell you what helps thyroid. Take a look at my Perfect Day multi, because believe it or not, it's a nutritional deficit, and your B vitamins are very low. That's true. That's true, everyone. And get on the Beyond Enormous Minerals. But guess what? Are you ready? Either do 5 sprays of the iodide to 10 sprays, and it's non-toxic. So just start doing, I would say at the beginning, if you've got a thyroid problem, I have some people doing 10 sprays of the iodide, and then they do 20 sprays of the iodine because they're so infected. Because iodine will neutralize the virus in 15 seconds. 15 seconds, okay? All my iodine products are going on sale on July the 4th, the Patriot sale. So is the Pelvic and the Humic, the IGF 25,000, 300,000, and I can't remember what else, okay? But you'll see it. They'll be advertised. For the thyroid too, what I would be doing, okay, is over the thyroid area, I would be clapping it, okay, with one of our clappers. You'll see our clappers. Go to store.docadetox.com and clap this side of your neck and really close to the front, and this side of your neck close to the front, and do 5 minutes each side. and be fairly aggressive about your clapping. I'm actually getting rained on, but it's okay. Getting wet is not the biggest deal in the world. My phone's fine. That's a lot of rain. Holy moly. Hold on. I maybe come in a little bit. Okay. All right. Whatever floats your boat, eh? Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. And I'll go swimming tonight. So, anyways, I go swimming first thing in the morning with Lori, and then we'll go swimming tonight. And it could be raining like this, but we'll go swimming. All right. Remember what I told you? An hour of exercise a day gives you 3 hours of more life. You understand that? Okay. Um, lumpy breath. Hey, you got lumpy breath because you've got jammed up lymph nodes under here. Okay. You got to start clapping under your lymph nodes 10 minutes. And if it goes purple and blue, that's how toxic you are because healthy people do not bruise. Okay. And if you don't believe me, just ask your great grandmother or people that they could even be younger. Anybody that, oh my God, I woke up this morning, you can't believe it. And I got bruises all over me, or I got a bruise on my leg or bruise on my arm. I didn't hit anything. That's because you're rotten to the core. Your immune system's on the floor and you're going down. Okay. And it's issues in the tissues because guess what? When you can't process your emotions properly, they get stored in certain organs in certain places. And my pdgfree.com guide is going to teach you all about that. I am going to unleash the truth. And this is why I'm not liked. This is why a year and a half ago, Marketplace in Canada did a show and said I murdered 3 people. Meanwhile, I was just there doing a lecture in Toronto, 20 minutes away from CBC Marketplace. Why didn't they come and get me? I actually invited them. Okay, understand something, everybody. Okay, Braveheart Nation, let's rise, not despise, not close our eyes, okay, but come together, all right, and love ourselves and each other, okay, for God's sake. One second. I hope you can hear me. It's like really raining. Great. Okay. Lumpy breath. Understand that you've got to do with for lumpy breath is you've got to do vaginal infusion. You got to do the daily cleansing tea, black gold. You got to do the ultimate coffee enema. You got to get the cork out of your butt because you got to drain the tub. Okay, you understand? You've been filling up from the bottom up. Does every woman understand that you cannot have breast cancer unless you've got problems in your pelvic area first? Did you hear what I said? Why didn't somebody come on and challenge me about this? You will never have breast problems if you don't have a pelvic problem. And the pelvic problem was caused because of a large intestinal problem. There's no such thing as a constipated pregnant woman that is on a whole life, perfect day regime with us. There's no such thing. All right. So either the child is being born in the middle of the greatest immune system loving in the oven, or the child's in the middle of a swamp cesspool. Okay. And understand, we fill up our pelvis, which is a pelvic bowl, all right, with infection before we ever create lymph problems in our underarms or our groin, behind our knees, our neck. Listen, I had a gentleman come to me just the other day, and he had the size of a golf ball sticking out here. You know what they said? We're going to have to cut it out. I did non-surgical on it for 5 to 10 minutes. I did self-sonic regeneration first, then I did non-surgical on it, and it went right down. So they were going to cut out something, okay, all right, that we got rid of. I'm not making this up. Whether it's a pimple or a tumor or a fibroid or a swollen lymph node, it's a storage tank for poison until we can break the block of the calcification starches formation to allow proper flow. Okay? All right? The thyroid, I already talked about it. It's not that hard. Okay? And if you're taking thyroid medication, you're killing your thyroid. Slowly but surely. Do your homework and then tell me if I'm making that up because I need to make a sale today. Okay? Karen Stamp, I never ever want to have a colonoscopy again. Well, guess what? The only reason why you get a colonoscopy is you know that you're not doing daily cleansing tea and black gold. Because the only reason why your colon actually grows polyps, which are actually warts, is because you're rotting inside. The only reason why you got hemorrhoids is because the fecal matter is so dry before it gets to the end, it gets stuck and you're trying to push it out and you blow out your anus. Are you with me yet? The only reason why you get colitis is inflammation of the colon because you had constipation. The only reason why you get diarrhea is that is a rescue symptom for people that are really constipated to blow all that waste out, but you didn't get rid of the problem. The only reason why you have a fissure, which is a crack in your anus, is because it's so dry and the stool's so hard that when it comes out, it stretches the skin and it rips. The only reason why you have a fistula, which is a hole about anywhere from an inch to 3 inches from the anus, is because of the fecal matter rotted so long, created bacteria called endobacterium that eats the lining and then eats a hole. And now you're pooping into your vagina, or you're pooping into your pelvis, or you're pooping into your small intestine, and you're creating septicemia in your body. How am I doing so far? Okay. Colonoscopy, just know this. The actual, the barium that they use actually goes in and it causes more trouble and it cements up your bowel. And also they can actually cut it with the wire that they put in for the camera. And understand, don't believe me, 50 years ago, the medical system was said, they were told, stop doing colonoscopies. You cause more trouble than you'll ever do good. But no way, man. I'm after the money, honey. I'm after the money. And if you didn't know this, the large intestine is the most abused organ in the human body because it's 85% of your immune system. So understand something. Nobody's ever going to stick a finger up my butt. They're not going to stick a camera up my butt. I haven't even been to a doctor since I was in my early 20s. I hope you get that. And I'm never going to be at a doctor because I don't believe in cancer and I don't believe in disease. I believe in alignment. I believe in my spirit and I believe in high vibration. And why would I go to a low vibrational practitioner to get low vibrational treatment and therapy? Because I don't love myself. And that's exactly the opposite of what I am. I am what I am. How do you get structured water? Well, take a look. Our structured water units are not expensive and they last forever. You got a 90-day money-back guarantee. Go to store.docofdetox.com and 90 days if I'm wrong. And guess what? You can run your wine through and your liquor through and you'll never have a hangover. That's right, because you're protecting yourself from the sugar and from the toxins they put in there. And just so you know, everybody, that organic wine and beer has glyphosate in it. All right, so there's no such thing as organic wine and beer. All right, so you better get a structured unit if you want to drink. But if you structure it, you're going to catch a buzz twice as fast. So you're not going to want to drink as much. So in between every glass, make sure you have a glass of structured water so that you can flush things out. I get it. You want a buzz. I get it. You're in a bad relationship. I get it. You can't handle your emotions. I get it. You're addicted to changing your personality because people said you're not good enough. I get it. I get it. Right now, I'm going to tell you something. I love, honor, and respect you. And you know what? Just because you might have an addiction, my God, you're still alive in a planet that it's a beautiful planet. But guess what? Human beings are programmed to go after human beings. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that a supermarket has healthy food. I'll tell you that 98% of the products in the supermarket are toxic. Only 2% are good. I'll tell you that only 30% of what's in a health food store is good. All right. Are we done yet? Okay. Why do you think I live in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico? It's one of the freest countries in the world. That's right. Dear Dr. Wolfe, my nephew has all of his eczema and acne. It's very bad, inflamed, red, different size of spots. Also his shoulders and injured from an accident, no muscle. no nerve tissues in that side. What do you recommend? Many thanks. Well, I can tell you what I recommend, love. Why don't you come on and do a live if you love your nephew? And why don't you find out what his diet is and get him to tell the truth and what his addictions are? What type of medication has he ever been on? What kind of surgeries has he ever had? What's his age? What's his weight? And I'll build you a protocol for free if you want to come on live and understand something. Eczema, for one thing, eczema is actually a bowel problem because guess what? He turned the yeast into fungus. And then guess what? It drilled holes through his small intestine. His large intestine, and his large intestine is like a screen door in a submarine, and the fungus is going into his bloodstream. And so guess what? He's filled right up. Your skin, okay, is a reflection of the health of your large intestine. He has fungus on his skin because he has fungus right through his whole body. That's just like people don't want to believe me. I say, get rid of those, the toe fungus, and you'll get rid of a good chance of getting cancer. Anybody that has toe fungus and it gets worse and worse, if they live long enough, they will have cancer, which is stage 4 inflammation. Did the toe fungus cause the actual cancer? No, the lack of oxygen did. Thank you. Parasites don't cause cancer. Fungus doesn't cause cancer. Bad bacteria does not cause cancer. Okay? A cause of cancer is lack of oxygen. That's the only thing that does it. And it's a vibrational frequency. And the only reason why you have all of these parasites in the body when you have cancer is because they're actually trying to eat up the garbage that the cancer is creating. That's right. But the problem is these bugs will actually throw up in you. They'll actually poop in you, and they will eventually suck all the nutrition out of you because they'll live off of anything. Are you with me? All right. I'll never have a parasite problem because I do the perfect day. You'll have a parasite problem even if you do parasite cleanses, because until you do the perfect day, high vibrational, because the inner terrain decides what's going to live there. Louis Pasteur on his deathbed said, I'm a liar, I'm a fraud. And he was paid off to lie about viruses and bacteria and fungus and all of the parasites and worms, all the parasites that come in the body, if you don't believe me. And the medical system still goes with that story. Whatever, do whatever you want. The reality is, look it up. Louis Pasteur, on his deathbed, thought he was going to go to hell unless he confessed. There you go. See, isn't that great, believing in hell? Sometimes you can get somebody to tell the truth. All right. Acne. Well, of course, acne is a pustule. Okay, so right off the bat, your nephew eats too much sugar, too much flour, too much processed food. He's got a bowel problem. He doesn't eat right. And if he's not going to eat right, I could tell you, but he won't do it. But if you want to come on and do a live with me consultation, just think of all the other nephews and nieces and uncles and aunts that are going to benefit when you come on. My God, isn't there no brave hearts out there willing to come on and do a live consultation? I'm going to do it for you. How are we going to get the information out? And the reality is, people say, oh God, Dr. Wolfe, he's a fraud. Okay, he's this, he's that. You know what? The reality is this. You know what? Let's have real people with real stories and real healing. Okay. I'm taking herbal tablets for sleeping. My trouble is I can't relax. I've been like that. No. You're running programs. Okay. You were terrorized as a child and you keep on telling the same story over and over again. Listen, get the Beyond Ormus, okay, magnesium spray, and get the Mag Infusion. Call me, 469-861, okay, 8884. It's a USA phone number. It's direct if you want to call me, or on WhatsApp. But understand, if you started clapping your neck, your face, your head every night for 40 minutes to get rid of the stress, okay, if you started drinking warm water, and let's say you weigh 120 pounds, let's say you do 3 liters, 3 quarts a day of warm to hot water with black diamond in, okay, and Ormus minerals, all right? And then let me see you do belly button therapy when you get up in the morning, and belly button therapy when you go to bed, before you go to bed, and let me see you talk about all the things before you sleep, what you're thankful for in your life. And then before you sleep, I want you to mention 3 things that you want to see in your life, and I want you to thank your creator for bringing that or bringing you something better. And I want you to put a slight smile on your face as you're doing your belly button therapy before you go to sleep at night. And I want you to have a slight smile. And I want you to do lion heart breathing, 6 seconds in and 7 seconds out, and tell me that doesn't work. Okay, but understand this. Get yourself a Braveheart love band and then go read about it. And throughout the day, snap the band to get yourself into the present moment. Go 3, 2, 1, I got this. Every time you start playing the same BS programs that create anxiety into you, and then you're exhausted, but your mind won't stop because guess what? You're running from the paper tiger with no teeth, sweetheart. Okay? They won. They got you. These psycho tyrants got you, and they're feeding off of you. Go watch Monsters, Inc. You're exactly what that movie's about. They have scared you so much that you can't sleep at night. You're terrifying yourself. And guess what? These psychos are living off of your energy. You know how we get back at them? We have the most beautiful, joyous life ever. And that's how we get back. We don't have to hate them. We don't have to go after them. All we have to do is find our authentic self and shine that light. Yeah, herbal capsules aren't going to help you sleep, just so you know that. Okay. Yeah, there's so much stuff that's sold out there. It's all about vibration. I already told you that. It is. I gave you your answer. Let's see if you do it. Okay. Start off with that. Okay. And then give me a call and tell me if that's working or not working. And I will guide you even more. And then I tell everyone, why don't you get a consultation? $95, an hour consultation. We'll send you the audio. Okay. The PDG free.com guide. We'll send it to your email. And then you've got lifetime support for free. Because if you actually follow our perfect day, you don't need lifetime support. You don't need life support. You'll become your own support. You'll be your own healer. Okay? Carla, did we lose it? Well, it must be gone, the internet. Okay. Oh, I'm back. Okay. Can you see it now? Okay. Am I back? Yeah, it's not that good. I'll try, everyone, but I think the heavy rains are knocking the internet out. Okay. All right. Here we are. Let me see. I'm going to finish this off and then we're done. I don't know if it's because I'm sweating or the humidity, but yeah, I'm feeling it. Okay. All right. You know what? I would rather be hot than cold because when you're cold, you're aggressive. When you're warm, you know what? You just kind of, yeah, that's the way it is. You go with the flow. And I know that I'm a pretty energetic, but guess what? When I get on here, I use my strength, my energy, and I use my passion to try to see if I can reach just 1 out of 10,000 people. That's all I'm doing, everyone. Just know I love you. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I love my life and I love everybody. Okay? Please just know that. All right. Megan, okay, I've got 2 more and that's it, okay? Megan Inwood, my 19-year-old daughter's period has stopped now for 4 months. Yeah, well, she's 19 years old. You know the pressure on a 19-year-old girl? Is she smart enough? Is she pretty enough? What kind of exams is she doing? Is the mother and the father stressing the living hell out of her? Did she just break up with her boyfriend 5 months ago? Understand something. The first thing is emotional. That's the first thing. The next thing is you got to clean up her diet. Just go into the pdgfree.com guide and go get her on the perfect day diet and get her daily cleansing tea and get her get her black gold and make her black gold smoothies. I'm not going to sell you a lot. So just know that if you really want a consultation, we'll bring the thunder down and turn this around. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to do it. It's $95. So the reality is if you could get her to do the ultimate coffee enema, okay, to start purging her liver of anger, and the anger may be, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, okay, all right? My parents are stressing the living hell out of me. Who knows? Who knows? But understand the physical affects the emotional, and the emotional affects the physical. And understand if you go into the 4 pillars of the perfect day, you'll understand it. And then also go take a look at her the way she acts, her emotions, and then go find out. I teach you all that in the Perfect Day Guide. So, daily cleansing tea, black gold, okay? And the ultimate coffee enema. And if she's willing to do it and you do a vaginal infusion with her, oh my God. Okay, we've changed everything. We've changed the vaginal canal. We've changed the holy grail, the large intestine, and we purged the liver of all those chemicals and poisons and anger. And understand, her period's going to come back, and that's it. And then get her on also the humic. The humic's going on sale July 4th. If you want, call up my staff right now, and you can say to them, Dr. Wolfe said that you can give me the sale price for the humic, even though it's not on till July 4th, okay? And then get her on the humic, and then tell me, if you do exactly what I said, you hardly spent any money. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? What if she actually kept up with them, and then she never had a problem like this again? And guess what? No period? Okay, do you want to know something? She's backed up and jelly tight. Let me tell you that right now. And the period needs to happen because her emotions are going to be all over the place. And you need to get there. A woman's period actually makes her the strongest species on the planet. And she's able to endure more pain and suffering and live longer. And that's because she's not just sloughing off the egg every month. She's actually getting rid of the worst toxins in her body in case there's loving in the ovens, because we need to have a healthy specimen of a baby. And understand something. Almost every pregnant mother and every woman doesn't know how to have a baby. I know how to have a baby, a healthy baby, better than almost any woman on the planet. And I'm not trying to tell you that I'm smart. I'm not trying to tell you they're stupid. I'm trying to tell you that we're programmed to actually have sick kids. Your kid is sick right now. She doesn't have a period because you don't know how to bring her back into alignment, and it's not your fault. Download pdgfree.com. Get into there. Look at the 4 pillars. Do the things I just asked you to do. Or come on and do a live with me. I'm only going to do 1 a week, maximum 2 a week. Dr. Wolfe. Somebody just said to me, Dr. Wolfe, I've got psoriasis, which is the opposite of eczema. And guess what? Guess what? We're not dumb. We've been messed around with. Eczema is the little baby. Psoriasis is the adult, okay? Everything starts as eczema. Eczema and psoriasis are the same thing. The psoriasis just has a thicker scab because you've been full of fungus longer. That's it. Take the information that I said earlier for the eczema, or call up and pay $95, get a consult, and then get the PDG guide. I don't know. I give you lots of options. Why do you think I've created the Braveheart Nation app? Why do you think I have the largest masterclass library in the world? You know what? If you were to go in and watch all my masterclasses in my library, you'd be smarter than any practitioner you're going to go to. And I kid you not. Do your homework. You know, are you worth it? Do you have no value? Do you need to take a shortcut? Well, then go take something and numb yourself out, or cut something out. The reality is this. All we can do is give people choices. All I can do is create a vibrational healing, and then you've got to what? You've got to know that you deserve it. So you've got to allow it to come in and then match that vibration long enough and strong enough, and then, baby, you're healed. And then if you change your personality and love and care for yourself, you're not getting sick again. Disease is just a belief system. Cancer is just a belief system. My parents passed on before they were 55. My father had 3 heart surgery. My mother had hysterectomy. Okay, then she passed away from lung and tongue cancer. My father passed away from leukemia, and I've got this on record, so you can't say I'm lying. Okay, my father came to me, and they said he had 10 days to live. His eyes were yellow, the white, his skin was yellow, cords, cold sores all over his lips. And guess what? 6 weeks, they couldn't find the leukemia. Then he didn't listen to a thing, because why would you want to listen to me? My dad doesn't listen to me. Why would you want to listen to me? So then guess what? He gets it again. He comes back. It takes us 3 months now. And the third time it came back, he never made it to me. Can understand something. Okay. I'm not a healer. I can only create the vibration. And then the person, we could even turn them around because we're using that vibrational energy. But if they don't accept it, if they don't have value, if they don't change their personality, you can't change their reality. So understand something. Psoriasis is just the big brother of eczema. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If I had eczema myself, I would be doing all of the, let me just say this, or psoriasis. I would be doing the Black Gold Daily Cleansing Tea. I'd be doing the Ultimate Coffee Enema. If I was a woman, I'd be doing the vaginal infusion. But externally, what I do, I'd get a clapper. Don't worry, when I get my studio back, right now, I told you, we've got 5 video people putting the lighting up. I've got professional cameras that you'd find in any TV studio. We're going all the way here, everybody. Okay. So anyways, where was I? I would get a clapper. And what you do is, let's say the psoriasis is on my arm. Okay. So I'm going to clapper with my clapper. Go take a look. It's a purple thing, guys. It's on my website. It's designed to clap your body. You know what? Let me tell you, if you want the best diagnosis in the world, buy a clapper. Okay. If you have light bruising, your tissues aren't so contaminated. If it's darker bruising, they're more contaminated. If you go black, your tissues are rotting. All right. So nobody bruises if they're healthy. But go in there and clap the psoriasis until pus and blood starts to come out a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. And then what you do is you take silver bullet gel. You take fulvic bright ice drop. You take frankincense. Okay. All right. What else do you do? You take DMSO gel, and then you mix these together. Go take a look. If you get the pdgfree.com guide, which is free, I tell you how to do it in there. So then you mix these together. You put a layer of that on, because now you've cracked the eczema, the psoriasis. Now you put that on, and then you actually saran wrap it and go to bed at night. And guess what? We are going to bring the thunder down. But it's always going to come back if you don't restore your large intestine. Okay? All right. Get a perfect day consult, $95. Okay? Last one. Dr. Wolfe, my sister-in-law, got mammogram. Results, cyst, what she should do. Thank you. Everybody, a cyst is a sack of pus and dead cells. That's all it is. And the reason why she has that is she has a bowel problem. Okay, have your sister come on and do a free Real People, Real Healing consult, or have her call Lorraine or one of the other consultants at consultations@docofdetox.com. $95. Guys, really? Okay, so she's got to get the cork out of her butt. She's got to drain the waste that's in her pelvis and her large intestine. That's how you do it. Black Gold Daily Cleansing Tea, Ultimate Coffee Enema. Here we go again. And then what she's going to do is she's going to clap every day, 5 minutes under her armpits. Why? Because she's jammed up jelly tight in here. If she sweats, she stinks. And if she doesn't sweat, it's because it's so plugged up with fecal waste, okay, and mucus, she can't even sweat anymore. All right? So now what happens is that when you've got so much inflammation in your body creates fat cells. What do you think it does with women who have no energy left and are going down with their immune system? It says, holy crap, look upstairs. There's 2 storage tanks made out of fat. So now you store the inflammation and infection in the 2 storage tanks called your breast, which then the inflammation causes mucus, because the body, wherever there's inflammation, the body makes mucus. You understand me? The body makes mucus to try to protect the cells. And when the cells are dying because her breasts are so infected and toxic, now she has cysts in her breast. You know what? Give me something hard to do. Okay, simple. That's it. Those cysts, okay, are going to eventually turn into, we'll have calcium deposits in there. We'll have fibroids grow in there. And then if we get enough inflammation, we'll have mutation, which they call cancer, which is stage 4 inflammation. Or she could just do something about it now and get a perfect day consult. For God's sakes, if I was saying that my consults are $250 or $500, Do you know how much money's left over after a $95? I mean, they're on sale right now. They're only $150, but $95. By the time I pay the practitioner and you do it, there's not 1 cent left over. Okay, just by housing all the consultation, doing everything we do. Let me tell you something. Somebody said to me the other day, why do you give so much for free? People don't value it. I said, listen, you got a problem with it because I'm going to tell you this. When you have no value, you're not going to buy anything. The majority of the population has no value. They won't spend money on this. No, they're going to go to the doctor, medical doctor that isn't a natural health doctor. They're going to go to a doctor that sells drugs, chemotherapy, radiation. Look at this woman. This woman with the cyst in her breast. She went and took her breast, brought it out for them, put it on the table, allowed them to smash it down, okay, and then radiate it, okay, which causes cancer. And what do you think that did when they squished it and then they radiate it like it was a microwave? What do you think they did? They created more inflammation, more mucus problems, which creates more cysts. So now she's home, worried her butt off because they're either saying, well, keep an eye on it, or you need to take these antibiotics, or we need to drain it, or we need to, oh my God. And you know what they're doing with most women right now? They're putting trackers in them and they don't even tell them, listen, ladies, go do whatever you want. Go have surgery, go have them do a biopsy, which causes more inflammation. But the reality is, why don't you get thermography? We do thermography here. Okay. We do thermography here. All right. In Ixtapa, Mexico at our place. And guess what? It is the most in-depth. You don't need x-rays. You need thermography. Okay. There's no inflammation, no infection. And you can tell exactly what's going on in the human body. We also do free bone density. We also have the most advanced energy medicine equipment, the most powerful infrared system. We've got cell sonic regeneration right in our clinic here. Okay. And just know this. Does everybody know Jim Gale? Jim Gale and I are opening up a powerhouse clinic, okay, a power pack clinic in Gulf's Landings, and it'll be opening up around September. So watch for that. They'll have a cardio med bed. They'll have the cell sonic. They'll have the thermography there. They'll have a Wolfe non-surgical therapist that'll do consultations. Dr. Sage and myself will be going there every 3 months to do lectures and small conventions for people to bring people together. Okay. So understand that we'll have that in Gulf's Landing, Florida, and we'll also have it here in Mexico. All right. All right. Okay. So yeah, I love my life. I really do. People wonder how I keep going. Don't go to work. Find your passion and purpose. Don't go to work. Give up your job. Okay. Find your passion and purpose. All right. Anyways, I want to thank you for having me. I want to thank you for listening to me. And just know this, you deserve the best, but you're never going to have it unless you allow it, right? Are you going to allow it? Are you actually going to take some time and energy? Are you actually going to make you matter? Are you going to matter before everyone else matters? Because until you matter, you can't teach anyone else to matter. And until you know better, you're never going to have better. Have a beautiful day, everyone. God bless. And just know this, that we will be in Australia, and I'll be doing free lectures all around Australia. And then I'll be doing lectures in New Zealand. Okay, I'm doing 10 lectures, 4-hour lectures, 2 a day, Monday through Friday. So that's 10 lectures. I'll be doing that in New Zealand as soon as I finish the whole life health coach certification. We still have room if you want to join us in Coffs Harbour for that, and the Wolfe non-surgical certification, the most powerful body work. And we also have the 3-day masterclass with Lorraine for women. Guys, you're not allowed to be there. Okay. All right. You don't have what it takes. Okay. All right. And you women, you need to understand something. The vaginal canal is the holy grail, and understand that. Okay. That is your feminine power, your pelvis. Have a beautiful day. And I'm going to go play.